The objective for today is to take on a subject that we've covered many times. This is a velocity banking discussion, and we are jumping into a line of credit to be able to do that velocity banking. But there's a little bit of a twist because I wanted to make sure that I shared a few more details that I don't normally do. I don't consider myself a velocity banking guru. It's just a strategy that I understand. And when I understand something, my objective is to share it with you. So it's a strategy that is focused around eliminating debt. And what does it do for you? It allows you to pay off debt faster. It allows you to free up cash flow. And when you're able to free up that cash flow, it allows you to get multiple uses out of the same dollar to invest in other things. Because the main objective here, at least for me, is to put my money in a position to where I can pivot. And if we haven't learned anything else over these last few weeks, the ability to pivot is important. Because if you thought your retirement was going to hinge upon someone's stock market performance, think again. So we have to be in a position to where we can use our assets to be able to pivot. And where are your assets located? In most cases, the largest asset we have is our home. The largest asset we have is our ability to leverage our home to be able to do other things. This is our, I'll call it, case study for today. It's related to Laura. Laura's 55 years of age, and she has great income. She has income of about $10,000 a month. And she's got a healthy savings as well. Because she has a healthy savings, I think there's just a lot of opportunity here. This is the ending cash flow. This isn't the cash flow where it started, but again, she has healthy cash flow. And the goal, her goal, is to eliminate this $284,000 mortgage within the next 4 years, because she's got about 20, I think it's like 27 years or so left on the mortgage, and ultimately put her money in a position to where she can focus on freedom. Her goal is to pay off this home so that she can focus on freedom. Okay. And these were the pieces that she wanted to discuss. It was, hey, I'm looking at a first position home equity line of credit, and I'm concerned about the variable rate. So whether it's a first or a second position, most people are concerned about the variable rate associated with that line of credit. And it's the cost. The cost to be able to have or achieve that product, being concerned about that. And then also the strategy. It starts with, she's got a home. And again, for most of us, our home is our largest asset. Yes, she's got some debt. Not a whole lot, about $31,000 in debt. Okay, the home is worth about $600,000. Balance on the mortgage is about $284,000. So that is what's owed today on the mortgage. And she's paying about a 4.6% interest rate on her mortgage, which equates to about a $3,000 a month mortgage payment. Notice, yeah, she's got some credit card debt, but that wasn't even a part of the question. It was, I can handle this. She was not concerned about paying off this credit card debt. It was getting rid of this. And usually I ask questions like, well, what's the interest rate on these credit cards? Are we talking 19% or 20%? To me, these are probably more impactful to her credit profile. But again, I do what I'm told in most cases. And that is, hey, I want to eliminate this mortgage. What does that look like? And she does qualify for a first position home equity line of credit. So notice, this first position home equity line of credit is saying what? I am going to replace this mortgage with this item. So once this is done, this mortgage will no longer be there. This mortgage will be gone once we're done. And that line of credit, the interest only payment in month one on this line of credit, based off the 7.65% interest rate, would be about $1,825. So we're already making money if she shifted over to a first position, because the $1,825 a month interest only payment, which used to look like $3,056, there is a savings there. But again, that is interest only. If she only applies that interest only payment to this process, we'll never pay this home off. She'll get herself in a worse position. But the bottom line is, this is the structure as of today. And again, the goal is to eliminate that $284,000 mortgage so that she can, again, as we started to peel back the layers, so that she can retire by 65. How old is she? She's 55. Do we have enough information as of right now based off our current situation? Do we know the answers to these questions as it relates to her income? Yep, we know it's about 10K. So we're good on that. And yep, we're good on because she's using first lien HELOC for a debt tool. Here's what we know about first lien HELOC's, what do you call it? product. That's the word I was looking for. What do we know about First Lien HELOC's product? We know it has a sweep account. We know it offers checks and a debit card. We know you can pay bills directly from that line of credit. So it's an awesome tool. Go ahead, sweetheart.
We know that they've designed it for people wanting to use the strategy. Yeah, exactly.
That is correct. And we know she's got about $31K in debt, and she's got a $284K that she wants to pay off. So we have a fair amount of information, and we know we're wanting to use a first position HELOC. But what about the cash flow? Do we know the cash flow? Well, let's do the math and better understand the cash flow, because I think we have almost enough information, just don't fully understand the cash flow as of yet. So let's kind of dig into, and I think this is where I want to jump over to the full vibe board, sweetheart. So, well, what I wanted to dig into is better understanding her cash flow. So I'm showing month 0. What I'm saying is, before she implements velocity banking, where does she currently sit? Is what I kind of wanted to walk through. So again, I'll zoom in some areas so we understand her income. She's making about $10,000 a month, and that income goes right into her checking account, and she uses that income to address her bills. She uses that income to address her debts and her expenses. And she's got this mortgage payment of about $3,056. She's got a total bills when you do electric, gas, all of that kind of fun stuff. It's about $31.75 a month. And she does have some debts. Again, she's got some credit card debts. And I want to say that credit card total is about $31K, if I'm not mistaken. She seemed very, I'll call it, not concerned around the credit card debt. She feels as though she could eliminate that at any point. And so her main objective was she wants to get rid of this piece. And so when you add up her current expenses and her debts, it equates to about $6,600 a month. And so if we are comparing her income to the bills that she's paying and the debts going out, her cash flow is sitting at about $4,000 a month. Okay, let's do some simple math. $4,000 a month, 4 times 12, that's 48 grand a year. What could you do with an additional $48,000 a year? And how about this? If I've got $48,000 a year, do I need a line of credit to be able to pay off this mortgage? Like, what if I just put an additional $4,000 a month onto my mortgage? Like, that could happen. And that's why this is sitting here. If she were to simply take that $4,000 a month, multiply that by 12, 48 grand, take that $48,000 and just dump it into the mortgage, this home will be paid off in 6 years. She's 50. Go ahead, sweetheart.
But would she have a penalty for paying early?
That's a great question, because it's very possible. A lot of times banks and their mortgages realize that this is their main source of income from you. So the last thing they want you to do is pay it off early. But would I take a prepayment penalty to have this home paid off in 6 years? I think I might take that fight. Meaning, I doubt the prepayment penalty is much more than maybe, let's call it 10 grand, which is stupid. But regardless, would I pay an additional 10 grand to not have to pay 25 years of interest? All day long. So my point is, for those of you who may be wondering whether or not this is even necessary, I'm kind of with you. With the cash flow that she has, this home will be paid off in 6 years. But let's be clear. She's 55 years of age. Let's say she uses this cash flow to pay off this home, and it takes her 6 years to do it. At 55 to age 60, 61 is now the new age after paying off this home. Did paying off this home produce any financial freedom for her? Did paying off this home do anything more than eliminate a debt? It did not put any extra money in her pocket. And if the goal is to retire at 65, because remember, that was the goal. It was, hey, I'm 55, I want to pay off this home, I want financial freedom. Oh, and I want to retire by 65. Putting $284,000 into this home and not being able to get anything out of it other than no longer having a mortgage, how did that help her achieve financial freedom? How do you put it, sweetheart? You can be debt-free and broke at the same time?
Sure can.
So even though this is possible, I don't find that to be the right solution. And now let's go a step further. When people are asking me, hey, should I get a HELOC, a line of credit? Should I get a first position or a second position? This is what matters to me. What you have in cash flow should determine whether or not you should or should not get a product like that. If she only had $400 in cash flow, but she wanted a $284,000 line of credit, my answer would be no. But because she's sitting at 48 grand a year in cash flow, 48 grand a year going into a line of credit is going to crush this line of credit, which means she would have this product paid off pretty fast. So based off her month zero status, I think she's in a solid position to be able to handle this line of credit. And again, just to understand what it is, we're talking a 7.625 first position home equity line of credit for $284,000, and we're going to use this to pay off the mortgage. The mortgage will be eliminated. So, okay, let's say we eliminate this mortgage. What does month zero look like when we pay off this mortgage using the line of credit? So you eliminate a $3,000 monthly payment and you're picking up an $1,825 home equity line of credit payment. But still, how does this process look and what happens to my cash flow? So that's where, in this case, the cash flow shifts. Because I am no longer paying that mortgage, which was $3,056, but I am paying an interest-only payment of $1,825. $3,056 minus $1,825 allows my cash flow to then increase because my debts, my expenses are decreasing. So therefore, my cash flow goes from $4,000 a month up to $5,452, almost a $1,400 or over a $1,400 increase in my cash flow. Pretty positive. So now I have even more that will allow me to pay off this line of credit quickly. And so in that case, now it's all about doing the strategy. And what's the strategy? And income came in, jumped into my checking, it was swept into my line of credit, I paid my bills, and then at the end of month one, that $284,000 balance dropped by the cash flow that I have, leaving an ending balance in month one of $278,548. So the process is working. And again, there's a lot that I am assuming. There's a lot that I am not concerned with. And let me just share one here. That $1,825 interest-only payment is based off this total balance of $284,000. Yes? But at the end of month one, after this cash flow is sitting on this line of credit, the interest rate is variable. The interest rate is based off the performance of the HELOC or the balance in the HELOC at the end of the month or at the start of the next month, which means the interest rate owed for month two is based off a new balance of $278,548. Can we just agree that it's $1,825 in month one, but in month two, it would not be $1,825. It would be something less than that. I won't say it's less than $1,800. All I'm saying is the interest owed on this line of credit drops as the balance on the line of credit changes. Why is that important? Well, in this particular example, I am not going to change that $1,825, meaning I'm going to keep that interest-only payment the same for the life of this example, which means this is the worst case scenario. And the other piece that I wanted to throw in that, it's because that $1,825 is going to change, is going to fluctuate. And what happens if the interest rate changes? Right now, this is based off 7.625%. I don't show the interest rate changing either. So to compensate for the change in the interest rate, I am keeping the original interest amount through the life of this example. And I am confident that I'm providing the worst case scenario, meaning any other version of this, it just makes the numbers better. So with that being said, we're sitting here at month one. And again, we just followed the first step, and that was dropping the income into the line of credit, paying bills from the line of credit, and that cash flow ending up dropping the balance in month one. So what does this look like over, I'll call it a succession of months? And again, we started with a line of credit of about $284,000. As we jump through the months, by the end of month three, the new balance on the line of credit would be somewhere around $267,000. And again, I am basing this performance off the same interest throughout. But can we agree that there would be a difference of interest owed on a balance that is almost $20,000 less? She's making considerable headway. And in addition, if anything happens, she's got leverage sitting in her line of credit ready to go to work. Meaning there's $16,000 by the end of 3 months. There's $16,000 at the end of 3 months that if she needed to fix a car, pay a bill, wanted to take a trip, she has leverage available sitting inside of this line of credit that she could access. It is accessible to her by debit card. And then you run this through for the remaining few months. We're sitting at somewhere around $251,000 after 6 months. Again, 284 is where I started. 251 is where I'm sitting at the end of 6 months. In 6 months, we've knocked off $30,000 on this line of credit. So what does this look like over time? And this is straight out of a HELOC calculator. This is not something that I created. The input for this line of credit being the original balance of $284,000, the cash flow of $54.52 is what's driving the balance on this line of credit down. And it's going to take how long? It's going to take about 5 years. Remember, her goal was to have this paid off in 4 years. Well, based off my math, I think it's going to take somewhere around 5, and that's assuming that she's not using any of this leverage in here throughout this 5-year period. If she needs a dollar amount to go do something, she has it accessible to her, but that is going to change this number. So if we just are focused on what her goal was, which was to pay off this home in 4 years, we can get it done in 5, about 60 months.